We talked about Jamal Bowman when it happened. We talked about Cori Bush last week when it happened. Now let's talk about Ilhan Omar. There is an obvious war that has been taking place on all the black progressive lawmakers who have called for a ceasefire and are anti-genocide. First it was Jamal Bowman, then it was Cori Bush, today it's Ilhan Omar. Representative Ilhan Omar is one of the only Muslims in Congress. She represents Minnesota 5, which also has a very large Muslim population, and she has been very vocal in her criticism of the genocide in Gaza and the Israeli regime and calling for a ceasefire. So naturally, they decided that they were going to do what they always do, which is bring in AIPAC and a lot of dark money donors and Republicans and the Israeli regime's lobby and get a black guy, because that's what they do. They get people of color to do their dirty work for them by putting them in positions of power to run against other people of color who are trying to do the right thing so that people can't criticize it. And they're encouraging Republicans to vote in this primary. She has an open primary, so they are calling people who are Republicans just to go vote to vote her out. And The Intercept just ran a really interesting article talking about how Zionists for Samuels and how they've been organizing, and a lot of them are right-wingers who are actually trying to empower and prop up Republicans. There was a guy, okay, that used to work for his campaign that openly said that he would rather empower alt-right Christian neo-Nazis because he felt like that in the end that was better for Israel than someone like Ilhan Omar, who's simply calling for an end to the genocide and a ceasefire. And he will probably win because the left doesn't vote and people won't show up for her. And then the left will go, well, fuck that. We don't care. The system should burn. Meanwhile, you're complaining about how AIPAC has all this control over our elections. But when it comes to actually trying to fight back against the power that AIPAC continues to exercise over our elections, you don't want to show up. Voting, as I always say, is not the end all be all. It is not the measure of your morality. It is a tool in the toolbox. And if it didn't matter, then the Israeli regime's lobby wouldn't be spending tens of millions of dollars to make sure that their hack candidates got into our Congress so they can continue to exercise control over it.